At the end of this video, you're gonna figure out how to play better defense from the kitchen line. The first thing we're gonna hit on here with playing defense at the kitchen line is simply if you're gonna be defending dinks, if you're getting moved around, if you're off balance, you don't have your slide, you're in deep water, or simply you're just trying to get back in the point, trying to get the point back to neutral, you should be using lift dinks. And know that lift dinks generally come by the technique of the paddle. The tip of the paddle is gonna be down. You're gonna be looking to get shape or looking to get margin. Off of that margin, you are aiming for the shallow zone. The shallow zone, if I was to break the kitchen in half, the kitchen's 7 feet on my side. If I was to break it in half, here's that 3.5 foot line. So let's say this is the shallow zone. So when I'm getting moved around, I'm in deep water. I'm not in control of the dink and exchange. I have to respect the fact and be aware of shot selection. With that being said, if I'm in deep water, if I'm off balance, I'm always looking to bring the point back to neutral. Why? Because there's a good percentage of points being won by unforced errors compared to forced errors. So our main motto is just putting balls in play, being scrappy, playing textbook, being disciplined, and utilizing that lift dink. Take a look. Ethan's gonna be moving me around here. He's gonna be moving me around. I'm off balance. All I'm looking to do, you're gonna see my ball shape is gonna be a little higher. It's gonna be a little liftier. Tip of the paddle is probably gonna be down. I'm trying to aim close to the net. I'm trying to aim shallow, sorry. Ethan's ball trajectory is gonna be a little linear. It's gonna be deeper in the kitchen, kind of towards that pressurized zone, okay? So I am looking to just defend, bring the point back to neutral. That way he can't hurt me. When I'm utilizing liftings too, I can take some off the bounce. I can take some out of the air. Plan A should always be out of the air. Plan A should always be, can I just be still, not have to take any movements, be extra stationary and dink from there. If I find that Ethan is moving me around laterally, I'm gonna use the necessary steps to try to keep the ball in front of me. The main focus here is just shallow, using the correct technique, pushing from the shoulder, leading with the knuckles on the backhand side, leading with the palm on the forehand side. Just think that if you're playing defense, if you're off balance, you're just making dinks, you're putting balls in play, you're allowing your opponent to self-destruct, and just keep the theme of if you're not in control, you are using lift dinks and you're aiming for margin, you're getting shape, or you're trying to aim shallow. Another example of good defense at the kitchen line would be utilizing the block volley. So I have to differentiate the punch and the block. The block volley would be, if you're not as comfortable going head to head with your opponent, or if you feel like your opponent's been eating you up head to head, they have good offense, they have better hands than you, that's a great time to start using the block volley. Especially if you feel like you can beat them in a dinking battle, if you can beat them by just playing safe and playing discipline and not so much in the fast game, I would always look to utilize that block volley. So Ethan's gonna come at me here. I'm just gonna show the correct technique, the correct positioning with my body that allows me to be consistent on that block volley. Take a look. Ethan's gonna, let's dink back and forth here. E can speed up anytime he wants. It's probably gonna be off a lift dink. Okay, so when I'm blocking, the paddle's nice and still. I'm letting it come into me. Nice. So my little block bubble, if I had two imaginary balls out in front of me, let's say here's the first imaginary ball, there's the second one. If E were to come at me here, if I just extend out a bit more and meet that second imaginary ball, that's more of a punch volley. I'm gonna show that again. I'm looking to extend out. If E comes at me, again, let's do it once more. If E comes at me and I can get that extension or meet that second imaginary ball, that would be a punch volley. I'm not using a punch volley here. Why? Because I feel like this person has better hands than me, or simply they're just better in the fast game than me. So that's where using the block volley comes into play, okay? E's gonna come at me, block volley technique, take a look, take a look. Nice. I'm letting it come into my body. I'm almost like putting the paddle on my body. Paddle face is open. I'm keeping it still. I'm not moving my upper extremities. Okay, so if I'm not as comfortable going head to head, I'm gonna use the block volley. If this person disguises their speed up and I don't see it coming, I'm probably gonna use a block volley. Anytime that I second guess myself, maybe I'm thinking forehand counter and it comes to my backhand, it's gonna be very difficult for me to counter a punch over here or think about countering a punch over here when it comes to the backhand. So if I think forehand and then it ends up backhand, I'm not gonna have enough time to really push out and find that second imaginary ball. It's a great time to block there as well. Or if I'm thinking backhand and it comes forehand, then I'm probably taking this open and I'm just blocking on the forehand side, okay? Let's watch a couple more here. Ethan can speed up anywhere he wants. Nice. And the cool thing about the block volley is that you can really cover all this space just with the backhand. I can go from 1 to 3 all with a backhand volley. Rarely ever are you going to see people blocking over here with their forehand. Usually the forehand side is the punching area. So just think about times on when to use that block volley, being aware, but know that if you're winning a high percentage of points at the kitchen line and you can out-dink your opponent, but you feel like you can't beat him head-to-head, I would not be punching back. I would figure out the play that's working, and if the play that's working is just playing safe and dinking him to death, then look to use that block volley, bring the point back to neutral, and you will win a high percentage of points doing that.